house is unlocked, but these monsters and human guys are afraid to open the door. The woman can only touch the stone that suppresses the ghosts and pray that she can continue to live. And late at night, these monsters would come out of the town to kill humans who hadn't entered the house and were alone. In the morning, human corpses lie everywhere and their organs are eaten alive by the monsters. A gory sight that makes you sick to your stomach. However, because the monsters of the night all came out of the forest. In order to find out the truth and not let his companions live in fear every day, the sheriff decided to risk his life to go deeper into the forest to look for the monster's lair. If necessary, he would try to blow up the nest. And just in case he got lost on his way home in the evening, the sheriff used his dagger to carve a mark into the bark of a tree to remember the way back. Suddenly, he was shocked to find a wolfhound in the forest. Knowing that he must have been raised by humans to survive so long in a forest full of monsters. Seeing the wolfhound running in the other direction, the sheriff rushed to catch up with it because it was probably his only chance to learn the truth. But after an indeterminate amount of time, the wolfhound suddenly disappeared and the sheriff lost his way home. Now the sky was getting dark and the time for the monster to come out was approaching. At the moment, the sheriff didn't know which way to go when looking at the east, west, south and north. And so the time came late at night when the sheriff heard the hissing of the monsters around him and fell into despair and took out his gun, but in the panic he accidentally fell into a cave. And soon the terrible monster has stood in front of the sheriff's eyes. Now sheriff is also ready to be eaten. But unexpectedly, the monster just watched the sheriff, hesitated to come in and finally disappeared from his sight. The sheriff was completely confused and then he looked at the interior of the cave and was surprised to find that there were many strange symbols carved into the stone. Although he did not know why the monster did not kill him, but it is certain that these spells have played a role. So the sheriff collected all the stones with charms in the cave and returned safely to the town at dawn. Then he rushed to distribute these stones to every house in the town and hung them in front of the door at night to prevent the monster from entering the house. However, the clever monster, having not killed anyone for a long time, began to try to disguise itself as a deceased relative to get the emotionally vulnerable residents to open their doors and then kill them all. What's even more desperate is that the monster has released all the livestock in the town, intending to kill the only source of food for the humans and let them all die of starvation. The sheriff's heart began to break in the face of the monster that could not be killed, and they have been trapped in this town for many years and no one has escaped. How can the sheriff lead the survivors to live in a town full of monsters when he sees his loved ones being brutally killed one by one?